Coming at you from the OLR podcast studio.
It's really more of a basement.
Coming to you from the OLR basement studio.
But it's still a podcast.
Coming to you from the podcast basement studio.
Yeah, but you still need to say OLR.
Coming to you from the OLR podcast basement studio.
Oh, that's way too many words.
Coming at you.
That's not enough. You still need to say OLR.
Let's just start. It's OLR.
What about that new intro here on
Bam!
One Lane Road, OLR Podcast Basement Studio?
How about that?
Good job,
And got a new commercial.
It'll never see the light of day.
That's what happens when Hickman gets up early on Sunday morning and starts recording.
That commercial will be stored away with the lake episode. The second lake episode.
They're in the same location right now. Currently deleted.
Speaking of too early, our guest here this morning, he told me it was too early for this.
It is too early. Simply too early.
For this,
I stayed up late last night watching UFC 229.
It's
Khabib
Sunday.
versus Conor. Khabib versus Conor.
What Curtis ain't realizing, it's Sunday and it's Titans
Sunday.
football just in an hour and a half from now, and this is for the boys.
Damn Titans! Hey, I want to go back and I say I don't know what that is. That pop. I yelled. Yeah. I need to calm down a little bit. So I want to go back to something you predicted. If Titans don't win the first game,
yeah,
they'll be, what was it you said?
I said they might be 0-4.
They might be 0-4.
And look at this.
What happened here?
They're 3-1.
3-1. They beat
the champs.
The champs.
Oh well, I tell you, after you look at the first week and they lose their quarterback, their franchise left tackle, and their franchise tight end, things weren't looking good when people were picking Houston to maybe win that division. Houston sucks right now. People picking Jacksonville. Jacksonville's put up big numbers on everybody, but they scored 6 points on us. And, of course, the national narrative was, I don't understand why the Jaguars couldn't score more than 6 points on the Titans. Maybe it's because of Harold Landry, Brian Arakpo, and Jarrell Casey, and Derek Morgan, and all these good cornerbacks and safeties we got.
Right.
Maybe it has nothing to do with, actual Titans. Maybe a little something to do with the Titans.
So,
not just the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They're playing right now. They've got it going on.
Then they come out and beat the Super Bowl champions in what's being called one of the top 2-3 games in franchise history in that stadium. And guess who was there?
Who? You?
I was there for approximately 55 minutes of that.
Why was you there for just 55 minutes?
Well, see, what happens is I was with Van Erich for his bachelor party. This is his early bachelor party. We went to Zany. We've had tickets to Zany's since February, March. Don Asbury bought a ticket to go with us to both.
Yeah.
And so it's like 20-3.
Yeah.
Score 17-13 Eagles. And Don said, damn, DK, we're going to have to make a decision. We're going to have to go. And this is 10 minutes, Don. Knowing damn well it's going to be more than 10 minutes with Sunday traffic.
Yeah.
But it's 10 minutes to Zany's to the stadium. I said, if they don't score on this possession, we'll leave. Flat out, I don't think they're going to come back with this much time left, this little time left. So they go down, score a touchdown, make it 20-17, 5 minutes, 1 second left on the clock. I reluctantly leave. I don't want to leave, but I know we got to leave.
Yeah.
To make it to Zany's. What happens after that is Philadelphia kicks a field goal, and they win. Not only just win, but they convert 3 fourth downs in overtime. Mariota lobs it up. Then you got Mike Keith yelling, just as only Mike Keith can. As I'm in Zany's, just refreshing my Twitter like this, a nervous freaking wreck, miserable, paranoid. I said, well, I can take a little comfort knowing I've DVR'd it. Waylon calls it, Dad, you're going to be mad. The DVR cut out. You only have a 30-minute extension on as opposed to an hour. Right. So the game cut off with 2 minutes left in overtime.
They didn't complete a third down that whole last drive. Unless it was towards the end. They completed, I think, 4 fourth downs? 3 fourth downs.
3 fourth downs. Unbelievable against the champs. So, yeah, hopefully not a trap game today, but at Buffalo playoff team last year, not very good this year so far. But then next week against Baltimore, so
what's your...
I don't know.
What's your predictions
now? At this point, I don't know. They should beat Buffalo today. They got a rookie quarterback. They should just blow them up.
Right.
Should. Whether they do or not, I don't think this team has got the mindset of past Titans teams where they get up for big games and lay down for other teams. But what do I know? I thought they might go 0-4. But you don't know. I mean, at that point of the season when I said that, we have a rookie head coach. We got all new coordinators. You know, our rookie class wasn't even competing because of injuries. You don't know.
Right.
And, you know, people picked Houston to win that division, and Houston struggling to do anything. So, and by the way, the voice that you heard there chime in, that's our sit-in guest for the day. Another fellow Hermitage Springs boy, Curtis Rich.
Introduce yourself.
He just did.
Oh,
Curtis Rich.
Curtis, he's been binge listening the hell out of us. He reluctantly he give us the Heisman for the first year and a half we was on the scene here. We wasn't good enough for him to listen to, and now god dang, we've mentioned all you got to do is mention somebody's name 3 times and they go back and they'll listen to.
They're on.
No, it's not true. It's just kind of one of those things to where I don't like listening to radio, so it was just.
Hey, I don't listen to radio now.
And then it just took me a little while to get into it. Of course, I listened to the Jeff tribute.
Right.
I think it might have been the second or third one I listened to. And then a couple of days, about a week ago, I listened to the Jeremy Mackey one after the Jeff tribute.
Yeah.
It was by far my 2 favorite episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, I've listened to all the new ones this year.
Right.
So far on season 2. And then I've got to go back to listen because I have hour and 40-minute drive time to Nashville.
All right.
3 days a week. So I
a lot of opportunity to listen there. Coming in strong with this Blue Devil material on here. Hat, shirt, wedding band.
Everybody wanted to fuss on Nike. That's all my Duke stuff's on Nike. I ain't burning my Nike stuff.
No, people are silly. People get a little over it.
Yeah, they get
animated
worked up. And boy, did it really work in favor of Nike.
Yeah, know what they're doing.
Yeah, they.
You said married. You said married. Look, newly married.
Last weekend, I had to listen to that Titans game on the radio. We were sitting in the Walmart parking lot in Lafayette waiting to go in.
Mm-hmm. Is that where you got married at?
No. But we were sitting there, and I was listening to the game, and of course, when he caught that touchdown, it went silent for a second.
Yeah.
Then I heard the crowd.
Yeah.
And I jumped. She looked at, what in the hell are you doing?
It was hard to tell, though. I was at the game. Like I said, I was at the game, and it was hard to tell if you were outside of the concession stand buying a hot dog or a cold beer or what was going on because there were so many damn Eagles fans. Fly, Eagles, fly. EAGLES. That's all I heard all day long until I started moving that ball, and I'd loved to have been in that stadium. You know, when 2009, when Vince Young to Kenny Britt, ball on the 1 yard line, 2 minutes left, no timeouts left. VY's got to go the whole length of the field, throws up to Kenny Britt. And it's like a damn pinball machine. He's getting bam, 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 knocked around in the zone. Sold my tickets that morning. Wasn't at that game. Jake Locker to Justin Hunter, 2014, 40-yard line, bam, touchdown. Promised Waylon for 2 months we'd go to that game for his birthday. Didn't go. Leave this bitch early. So I'm cursed on not being able to Jesus Christ.
Yeah, keep going though.
Hey, Lucas pulling this little Asian up. I got to give respect to Curtis for his wedding. It's something best soundtrack of a wedding. I'd like to think we had something to do with that. Teaching some new music here to Curtis along the way, like our little young Padawan. Teaching him this good damn country music, but no, it's a good soundtrack. It was nice weather. It was like a wedding I liked to be at, short and sweet and to the damn point. There wasn't a bunch of shenanigans.
Oh man,
Curtis looking slick in his white and camouflage vest, brought to you by the Shawn Michaels collection.
Woo!
It was a good joke last weekend.
Was that Mossy? Was that Mossy? Well, nobody heard it last weekend. Was that me and you and John Denton? Was that Mossy Oak or?
It was.
Who was you wearing, as they say at the award shows?
Red Bull and Springs Florist.
There you go.
Red Bull and Springs Florist.
Rep and RBS Florist.
Is that the first plug they've ever had on here?
Yes, I believe it is.
Bet, as the kids say.
Yeah, bet that.
You know, I wanted a real tree vest, and I wanted to do my business over Red Bull. And that's where I've always got my tuxes in high school.
Yeah,
stuff like that, and that's where I wanted to go. So they come out, brought this book out with some 2004 Mossy Oak New Breakup. I'm like, that's not going to work. Then I seen that white one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like that.
I need that.
My wife was not very proud of it, but but I liked it. I thought everything turned out.
You tell her don't worry, nobody will be able to see me.
Yeah.
It worked well. It worked well with when you're in the damn. You're at McFarland. You're in the woods with no cell phone service. Your bridesmaids and bride have got cowboy boots on. So why the hell can't you wear camouflage?
Why not?
It was my whole intention to wear camouflage, just a regular camouflage vest.
Right.
And then, that white one was there. I'm like, man, that's going to look slick.
That's silly.
Well, you only get married once, unless you're most people.
Hopefully, yeah. Like a good buddy of mine told me one time, marriage ain't forever. If you don't like it, just get divorced. He was the only person that I know of that had a longer engagement than I did. He made his wife wait 10 years before they got married.
Is he still married?
Still is.
Oh, there you go.
Still married, yeah.
There you go.
I say nice, long dating. That's where you need to be. 9, 10 years, something like that. That's it.
Sometimes you get a girl pregnant 2 weeks after you know her and you live out of wedlock for several years and decide whether you can stand each other. Then you get married.
Then you go for the marriage.
Shout out to those men.
Hey, I want to jump into UFC 229.
Woo. Jump into that.
Man, it was a good one. Gosh, I set up to like 12:15 last night.
You bought it? Did you buy it?
Yeah, I did.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, well, I knew at 8:49 last night, and it come on at 9, and I was going to buy it.
It's all right. I was watching Uncle Drew. I rented it last night.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Shut up. Talk about UFC then.
What is it?
It's
irrelevant.
It's a basketball movie.
I'm not going to go over any of the. I'm not going to go over any of the prelims. I am going to go over the entire fight card, but the big news happens at Khabib and Conor. So I'm not going to get into that just quite yet.
Just pace yourself.
Pace yourself, kids. The first fight on the big card was Michelle Waterson, the Karate Hottie, versus Felice Herrig. Take a look at Michelle Waterson here.
This her.
This is her. That's the Karate Hottie right there.
I bet she gives good massages.
Hey, I tell you what she do. She will whip your ass.
Look at the way her legs are. She's standing upright on her left leg, and her right leg is at least a foot over her head.
Yeah, probably further than that. She's like 5'3". Little big kid. Fantastic fight. They're coming in. Felice was like number 8 or 9. I'm sorry, Michelle Waterson was like number 8 or 9 in the rankings in the strawweight. Come in early, Felice, and put a lot of pressure on early. Waterson come in, just really slowed her down with the kicks and everything, and I'll just kind of jump to the end. Michelle Waterson was a clear victor. It went to decision. She had these lightning fast kicks. Waterson went for a takedown, but she wound up on bottom. She went to take down Herrig and wound up on bottom, but she controlled the whole time from the back. She had her feet on her hips. It was just nonstop work from the bottom, elbows like crazy. There was no it was just straight decision. It was fantastic decision. They both did a really good fight. They were a fantastic fight. Felice Herrig did a great job. She just got outclassed by Michelle Waterson. Fantastic fight.
What's this Felice
Herrig
lady look like?
Let's take a gander here.
I would have went with her if I was just going strictly by looks.
I don't know. Let's click on a little bit bigger picture here. Oh yeah, but for the win, strong.
Yeah, she got a China chin.
She is strong too. She's a little bit taller than Waterson. She had her up against the cage, and she just the whole time had her pinned up against the cage and worked her around through there. She's really strong. She's for 115. She's a big, strong girl. She's ripped to shreds too.
Yeah, she looks bigger than 115 just because of her muscle.
This is pretty much what she looked like on fight night last night
pretty
too.
Scary.
Yeah, she's tough. She's real tough. She just got outclassed. Now neither one of them are black belts in jiu-jitsu, but they worked. Michelle Waterson put on a clinic last night.
That.
Yeah, she's ripped. When this is her at 115 here, this would have been a weigh-in shot over here.
Mm-hmm.
But she was probably around 125, not of the fight, but still, fantastically strong. Really good fight. They did a great job. Great job. And then this is probably my favorite fight of the night, other than Khabib and Conor. Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, versus Alexander Volkov. Volkov is 6'7". He is a big unit. Volkov's like, Lewis is 6'3", but like 200. He's probably pushing that 265 limit there. He's a big boy. Great guy too. Down in Houston, when Houston had all the flood, and he's got this great old big jacked up truck, and he just drove around in all those flood waters in his great old big jacked up truck and picked up people. He's pulling cars out. Had just a bed full of people that he went and saved. Just a real good guy. And boy, Derek Lewis kind of got his ass whipped that entire fight right up until the end.
Oh, okay.
Volkov had much better cardio. Now Lewis had a back injury. And he even said he didn't have a good camp, didn't have a full camp, was hurt a lot during the camp, and wasn't happy with his camp, and it showed. His cardio was pretty bad. But with 11 seconds left in the last round, in the third round. Lewis was just kind of working around and trying to lure Volkov in, and boy, did he. He come in with a monster punch and blasted him right in the chin, knocked him out, got on top of him, ground and pound with 11 seconds left. Referee stopped it. Fantastic fight. I mean, he was gassed the whole time. Now, some weird stuff happened. Volkov had a real confusing stoppage for some reason. Herb Dean was the ref. Volkov stopped the fight. Lewis was hurt, and Volkov stopped fighting him. And he was putting his hand over his mouth. Volkov was putting his hand over his own mouth, and saying something that Lewis was hurt or something. So that was kind of the point of the fight, was to hurt the other guy. And so he stopped because he thought the other guy was hurt. Now, Lewis come out with what looked like a fractured orbital in his left eye, and he got his right eye popped pretty good too. And Volkov did not take any damage until like 11 seconds left, and man, he ate a monster.
He's regretting being the nice guy on that situation.
Hey, in the middle of that fight, Lewis hit him so hard at one point that it knocked out Volkov's mouthpiece. But he'd got hit so hard that he didn't realize it was his mouthpiece. Herb Dean picked it up and tried to give it back to Volkov. He said, "Tell him to put it back in. It's not mine." And Herb Dean said, "No, it's yours. Put it back in. I'm not putting it in for you."
Derek Lewis got a little hot after the fight.
A little hot. Joe Rogan, he took off his shorts. Right at the end, it was all over with. He laid on the ground for just a little bit, and he got up, walked around for a minute, and took his shorts off. Joe Rogan come in and said, "Why don't you take your pants off?" Lewis said, "My balls was hot."
Yeah, well, there you go. I did see that.
Yeah. It was. If you don't like Derek Lewis, you're full of shit. He's a good guy, man. He's fun to watch, and he gets on the ground and beats it like a gorilla whenever he gets done. Man, it's fantastic. But he was just about too out of breath to give his ground pound there. Yeah. And then Ovince St. Preux fought Dominic Reyes. These two light heavyweights, and it was a fantastic fight. Ovince St. Preux, you may know that name from 2001, 2004 at UT. He played football for UT between 2001 and 2004.
I'd say our Vols listeners will know that better than me.
He's about our age. He's 34, 35, something like that.
Okay,
now he's been in the UFC since about 2013. Come in and fought Dominic Reyes. Now, OSP, he's number 7 coming into this fight, number 7 contender, and Dominic Reyes is on a tear. He's number 12 coming into it. He's undefeated, Dominic Reyes is, and just kind of climbing the ladder, but he is climbing it fast. Round 1 come in, OSP got rocked. I mean, Reyes come in with constant pressure, tons of punches, great takedown defense, hard elbows. I mean, just lit OSP up with elbows. It was fantastic. OSP was out on his feet at one point in time and backed off, hit OSP in the head, and he backed off. Reyes wound up hitting OSP in the head 44 times in round 1. I mean, he was out on his damn feet. It was just a clinic. Those elbows were vicious. At one point in time, I mean, blood just streaming down OSP's face. But they went to round 2. Now, Reyes has never been out of round 1. And his output definitely slowed down after he got out of round 1. Because, I mean, he just had so much pressure in round 1. So when he gets into round 2, he slows down a little bit. But he's just putting on the pressure. Still outstrikes OSP. It was just a fantastic fight. Reyes wins both the first rounds, and then Reyes has fantastic takedown defense, kicks, combos, volume. He wound up knocking out OSP at the horn, and I believe it went down into scorecards as a TKO. But he knocked out OSP. I mean, he landed a knockdown punch. He folds up like a damn shrimp, staring at the ceiling, eyes wide open. You can tell he's out. Horn. Just as soon as he hits the ground, horn. Real weird. The ref comes up to him and goes, "You got to get up. You got to get up. You got to get up." The horn's already sounded. He's out. He's knocked out. Yeah. He was knocked out. You can't be saved by the horn. But he was out. He was out. I don't know what it was. And they walked around. It was either way, Reyes won. If it goes to the judges, he won. If it goes by KO, he won. But it still looks better on his record with the KO, and it was definitely a KO. OSP was out. Now, OSP looked fantastic coming into the fight. He just got outclassed. Reyes is just on a tear. Reyes is a former D1 football player, too, from out west somewhere. I can't remember.
And even on the bye week, the Vols take a loss.
Even on the bye week.
With alumni there.
Hey, he was...
I enjoy saying that. When the Vols lose.
Yeah.
Who's your football team?
You know, I used to watch a lot of Auburn.
Yeah.
But I don't have time to watch college football on Saturdays anymore.
All right. You got that law school happening now. All the time.
And so, like, right now I should be at home. I got a 20-page research paper due in, like, 2 weeks.
Oh, hell, 2 weeks.
Boy, I cannot stand doing research papers. I can't stand the thought of doing a research paper. There's just nothing in me left that wants to do that.
At least it's something, I kind of like, so it makes it flow a little easier. But
right.
What are we doing it over?
The good faith exception to the exclusionary rule.
In the
Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution.
If I had to write a research paper tomorrow,
after we get done today, I'll just knock that out for you.
I got some pretty solid notes already at home about that.
Yeah.
If you like to borrow.
We actually talked about that last week after the podcast.
God dang.
Yeah. Co-main event: Tony Ferguson versus Anthony Pettis. Tony Ferguson coming in 6 months after a complete knee surgery. I mean, he had tore a ACL or an LCL or MCL, one completely off. So 6 months after, here he is fighting. So he's a former interim lightweight champion, 155. This is the same where Conor and Khabib's fighting at 155. And Tony Ferguson come in, I mean, pressure the whole time. Anthony Pettis is a fantastic fighter. He's another one that's on his way up. Tony Ferguson just walked him down the entire round. I mean, kicks, punches. Pettis did rock Tony Ferguson twice, and the referee stopped for a cut to Pettis' head at one point in time. It looked like they was going to stop the fight because he just had this huge cut up in the top of his head, and it was just pouring blood down through his eyes. And ref wound up stopping it. He wiped both guys off because Pettis was on top of Ferguson at one point and was just bleeding all over Ferguson's face. I mean, he was covered with Pettis' blood. Fantastic reffing job. He checked out Pettis and had him wiped off. Before they let him stop, he went and grabbed a towel, went ahead and wiped off Ferguson too, and let it get back. Let him get back to going. Pettis looked tired. He just did. Ferguson's cardio was insane. They're talking about 6 hour a day training sessions, 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just insane cardio. Going up into Big Sur, California, and training, coming back down and doing it. So he's at elevation. Pettis was flat against the cage. Pettis wound up breaking his right hand, and his coach threw in the towel. His coach, Duke Rufus, called the fight between rounds 2 and 3. So it was going the way of Tony Ferguson anyway. Ferguson was just all over him, but he wound up throwing a hard punch, catching Ferguson wrong, breaking his right hand, had them 2 big cuts on his head, and it was just a fantastic fight. Probably fight of the night. And it was
only one that didn't go to round 3.
Yeah, only one that didn't go to round 3. It was a really, really good fight. Like I said, stopped in between rounds. Ferguson making that comeback. He hadn't fought in a long time. I think it's been a year layoff for him. He looked fantastic in the ring. Pettis really good. A lot of camaraderie at the end, hugging each other. That was one of those fights that you want to see, at the end. Pettis knew what was up. He knew he'd got his ass whipped, and he knew what was happening. He just got ran down. I mean, it was like a coyote chasing a rabbit the whole time. It was hard.
And I guess that was the last camaraderie shown fight.
The absolute last camaraderie that happened. Khabib versus Conor next. And it was electric in the building. I mean, lights shut off, ring turns green, smoke rolls out from over the top of the ring. Conor comes walking out.
Well, that's the show you come to expect with Conor.
He does the Conor strut around the ring. Oh, it's fantastic. My head was just like cinching up. It was fantastic. And then Khabib comes walking out after that. The whole crowd, half the crowd booing, half the crowd cheering. They come out. Conor's doing his thing. He's out there. He's keeping distance, holding punches. And then Khabib takes him down. He holds Conor up against the cage, but Conor doesn't take any damage this whole time. But what he did do was he just constricted Conor's legs. He wrapped his legs up. He couldn't do anything. Now, Conor obviously worked on cardio a lot. Conor obviously worked on wrestling a lot because he stopped Khabib the entire time. He didn't take any damage in that first round. Round 2 comes back in. Khabib winds up dropping Conor with a right hand and then gets back up. Conor gets back up. They fight around for a minute, and Khabib takes him down again. And that's pretty much the way the rest of the fight went, was him just taking Conor down, holding him down. Get into 303 into round 4. Khabib taps Conor. He didn't choke him out, but he had his arm across his chin, wrenching his neck around. It's kind of more of a neck wrench than it was a choke. Just had him. he just had his number. You can't wrestle Conor, or I'm sorry, you can't wrestle Khabib. He's just too much for everybody. His last name is Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
And all night long, people, I heard Nurmagomedov, Nurmagomedov.
I'll just stick with Khabib, I guess.
I don't know why everybody didn't just call him Khabib.
Yeah.
Nobody could get it. And then that's when everything went to shit. So as soon as Khabib taps Conor, he gets up. Conor's out. Or he wasn't out, but he's beat. He's leaning up against the ring. He's beat. He's on the post. Khabib's yelling at Conor still yelling at him after he just beat him, after he just tapped him. He gets up, he walks around the ring, pulls his mouthpiece out, and throws it through the ring at somebody out in the crowd. Yelling at him. He's over there pointing at him. Then Khabib jumps the damn fence.
Yeah.
Runs out into the crowd and starts a melee out in the crowd.
2 foot, just drop kick almost.
Yeah, out of the ring, out into the crowd, fighting police, security, ring attendants, everybody, just trying to separate them out. Who he was fighting with was Conor's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach. So that they got out there. Conor is just walking around the ring, just thinking about what's happened. One of Khabib's guys comes in the ring and starts circling around, messing with Conor, walks off, and then comes back, sucker punches Conor. While that's happening, another one of Khabib's guys comes running, jumps the ring from the outside, jumps in, sucker punches Conor from the back, takes a big right hand to Conor. Ring attendants, security, everybody running around through there. They wind up ushering Conor out of the building, ushered him back to it. I mean, I bet there was 40 people around him, and hardly any of them were his people.
Yeah.
They finally get Khabib back in the ring. Khabib's out of AKA with Daniel Cormier and Luke Rockhold, two of the biggest names in UFC. They come back in. They're trying to get him calmed down. Khabib will not calm down. He's just fighting. He's yelling at everybody. He's trying to explain himself, and at this point, there's nothing to explain. You messed up.
Right
you messed up, kid. There's the only thing you can do is shut the hell up and let's get past this. And Cormier and Luke Rockhold finally gets him to calm down. Then he won't leave the ring. He wants his belt. Put my belt on me. Where's my belt? He keeps saying, where's my belt? Where's my belt? Walking around the ring. Security everywhere. You're not getting your belt at this point, kid. I mean, you caused the damn right. Get out. Get out of the ring. They finally get Dana to come over to him. Dana says, look, here's what's going to happen. I'm not putting your belt on you. If I put this belt on you, people are going to start throwing shit. He said, I'm ready for it. Let them throw it. I don't care. He said, this ain't about you. It's about all these people around here that are going to get hit by stuff that doesn't have anything to do with this. He said, it's not happening. And they finally get him to go out. And then after that, there was fights by fans. There's videos out there of fans out in the foyer or whatever it is of Russians and Irish out there just fighting, throwing down. I would have hated to have been anywhere around that damn arena, the T-Mobile Arena. 3 of Khabib's camp wound up getting arrested. It was awful.
That just goes to show you UFC, once again, trying to be like WWE. Obviously, Vince McMahon couldn't have even booked that.
Yeah, that was...
Not in this day and age. That's nuts.
It was nuts.
Let me put you in perspective kind of how... I had a good feeling you might talk about this today. I actually had a real good feeling you could talk about this. And
the
quote of the night for me...
was my balls was hot.
That was that was actually.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson tweets, watching the notorious MMA versus Team Khabib fight, unimaginable. Never thought it would go down like this. Crazier than my fight right. That dude bit a mother's ear off. Not a mother's, but a mother, you know what?
Yeah.
Dude's ear off. He bit Vander Holyfield's ear off, and he's going to tweet out that was the craziest shit he's ever seen.
The thing is there's not a more... To me, there's not a more demeaning way to get beat than somebody choking you out when you're in the ring, right? Somebody knocks you out, good on them. They threw a good punch, knocked you out. You go out on your shield, right? So you've already beat Conor in the most demeaning way that you could beat him, and then you get up and act like an ass after that.
Yeah, I seen Dana White was not happy. Talking about, there's probably going to be some suspensions, but he may not ever be back.
He may not. He may not be able to come back after this.
But, you expect with all the hype around Conor, with his mouth, he's a terrific hype man.
Oh yeah,
for himself.
Yeah,
and you would expect something out of him.
Yeah,
and I don't know the other guy. I ain't.
Not a lot of people do. He's not a super. He's not super well known, and the people he's fought haven't been near as big of names as what Conor's fought.
And I think it's really bad. I think it looks really bad on the UFC.
Yeah, it does.
For that to happen, especially out in the crowd where your fans pay high dollars for those tickets right there next to that cage.
Yeah.
And
there were people saying, what's the difference in this and what Conor did? And what they're referring to is Conor throwing the dolly through the bus window with all the fighters on there. There's a huge difference in those two things. One, all of those people are employees that he put in danger. All of those people are employees of the UFC. Khabib jumped the damn fence and went out to a crowd of paying customers and started a fight out in there. It's a huge difference from an act standpoint, maybe not, but from a company standpoint, it's huge. It's hugely different.
The only thing I've seen close to that was the Malice at the Palace back in 2004 when the Pistons and the Pacers was playing in Detroit, and the Pacers players
went up into the crowd.
Went into the crowd and fighting. That's
Ron Artest. At that time, Ron Artest, my favorite player in the NBA. He was still. It's
random as hell that Ron Artest was your favorite player in the NBA.
I just like Ron Artest. I don't know, maybe because of that reason, because he didn't. He didn't take no shit.
Yeah,
he was the only player ever to win an NBA championship, and on the spot, post game interview, thank his therapist.
He probably should have thanked him a long time ago. So,
did you see the video of Khabib fighting the bear when he was 9 years old?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've never seen that video until last night. Pretty nuts.
That's one of the reasons why can't anybody mess with him.
You know why Conor lost? Because he befriended Drake. Drake's
a lot of people think it's probably Drake's fault.
Yeah, he's the curse.
Let's see.
So has he done it multiple times, or just the one when he's a kid?
This one over here isn't Khabib, I don't think.
That one. That's the one I saw.
Khabib wrestling a bear at age 9. Yeah, that is him.
Well, that's a sweet ass windsuit he's got on. Probably some Asics.
Some 1997 though.
Yeah, but I think windsuits
cargo shorts were still cool then.
Bet you better back up. Man. It's a nice
I bet he don't fight him now.
It's a nice softcore porn soundtrack this video's got.
They just do stuff different in Dagestan.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Don Asbury and Derek Rich had a UFC 229 party up in Bristol.
Look at him. Look at him smiling. Khabib just don't care.
Don was making Russian and Irish foods last night for the party.
Yeah.
Don gets down like that. He's a hell of a cook.
Huh. Where's that food in all the WrestleMania parties we used to have?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Come on, Don.
That was worth the money. Yeah, that fight was worth the money last night.
Sounds like it.
Good fights. Real good fights. And unfortunately, all of this, Khabib Conor overshadowed all of this other stuff down here. But, man, there were some fantastic fights here. Tony Ferguson called out Conor. He said, "Where's McNugget at?" He said, "I'll beat your ass if Khabib don't." And Derek Lewis said that he forgot to tell everybody that Donald Trump called him right before the fight and said that you need to beat this Russian.
Damn.
He's funny. Derek Lewis is hilarious. If you don't like Derek Lewis, you suck.
Well, it's good that you actually got your money's worth.
Yeah.
On a card like that, with boxing.
You never know.
The boxing UFC, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, and you know what? The nice part was with all these going full length, except for the Tony Ferguson one, there wasn't any downtime. There wasn't any wasted time. They weren't going to start this one early by any stretch of the imagination.
Worse than a bunch of promo videos airing on a loop for those.
Yeah, for those 30 minutes in between. No, it was a real nice set of fights. They had a good card. Probably one of their better cards for the year. Don't know how their pay-per-views did. I don't know when the numbers will be on that, but I'm sure there's...
it's a money maker.
I'm sure there's going to be...
anytime Conor's name's looped to that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were betting $2 million plus, but I don't know if it went that high or not. But
did I say it was Sunday
today
for the boys?
What?
Tighten up Sundays for the boys.
Well, I was kind of wondering if you was going to bring an extra one in.
I believe you did.
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't know if your wife would allow it though.
Yeah, she's all right with it.
Some people whip that. You know what? And sometimes that thing whips other people around. So.
That's not how it works in the rich household.
John Witherspoon in Friday After Next. Whip. You know, I ain't gonna say it. I'll let it myself. Whip stuff.
So look here. Look at this picture, Connor. Or Khabib. Just jumping out 2 foot,
see, I'm
stomping.
You, that's some like blood sport kickboxer, Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff.
Crazy fight. You know, and most likely they'll strip him of the belt. Mm-hmm. That'll go down as a Connor win. Connor's already ready for the rematch. He's done said he's ready for the rematch, but he'll probably have to go to Russia to do it because after that they may not let Khabib back in.
I'm not sure of the rules, but how would that go as a Connor win? He tapped. Would it not be a no contest?
It might go down as a no contest.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. You know, somebody's got to win because it was a title fight. So
right.
That's when they have a 16-man tournament on Monday Night Raw.
It'll go down since it was a title fight. It'll probably go down as they'll strip the belt and give it to Connor, and let him be the interim.
Ferguson will step in,
and then Ferguson will sit in and fight him. But Connor's not going to fight anybody but Khabib next. I wouldn't think. There's no money in the Tony Ferguson fight for him.
I didn't know there was a time limit on it, Curtis. I mean, I don't think you were. Golly, what are we in college right now? Did you need a key to shotgun that thing?
He actually is in college right now.
Oh, well,
I don't know why I'm yelling in this.
I don't know. Maybe we should brought a funnel. Maybe we should brought our Panama City Beach funnel.
That'd have been all right. Them wouldn't have been enough for that. Though.
You know what's depressing in life? I pour oil into my vehicles with our Panama City Beach funnel.
Oof, it still got our names on it?
I don't know. No, I don't see our names anywhere on
it. Times have changed.
I was thirsty.
Times have changed.
Memories. We were all underage on that trip. Imagine how much fun we'd have if we weren't underage.
It wouldn't have been any more.
Thank God for my $3.94 jazz camera from Walmart. Maybe not thank God for it. But
right.
Anyway, Clint was the only one of age on that trip.
Shh.
Two cool things happened in Nashville this weekend that I did not go to.
What was that?
And you're not gonna believe these two things. Well, I mean, you won't be shocked I didn't go to, but Kid Rock had his 4th annual fish fry, and we're gonna get into a whole lot of music here. That's the whole format I've put together.
Who wants to go to a Kid Rock fish fry?
It's a concert.
Oh,
but it's a fish fry also.
That is weird.
No, it's awesome.
It doesn't sound it.
You're stupid. When you get there,
have a bunch of boiling hot oil around a bunch of drunk assholes that come to see Kid Rock. That doesn't sound like that could go. It's always
pretty high clientele.
That doesn't seem like that could go wrong any way possible.
Kid Rock's the only concert I ever go to where I question my life decisions when I see the other concert goers.
You ought to. It's like going to a Walmart convention.
Yeah, it is, but I'm telling you, we'll talk about his performance and this whole music segment that I've formatted together yesterday for our awesome listeners that step up when called upon. And but anyway, yeah, it's his 4th annual show. You park in a big field and you walk across a little bridge across the creek there at the Fontenelle. It's like the big ass corporate name now, Carl Blackwood Chevrolet, whatever the hell it is. But now it used to be the Fontenelle years ago. But anyway, yeah, he incorporated a brand new aspect into this year, the always fun General Lee hood sliding competition. So there was that I
classed it right up.
Yeah, and then had opening act George Thorogood. He's easy for me to say.
Yeah,
Clint said he did a better job than he anticipated him doing. But last year's openers were Gretchen Wilson because I guess he lost a bet
because they didn't have anybody else.
He owed her a solid from 2004 when she was relevant last, and Wheeler Walker Jr. But anyway, man, it's always fun to go to a Kid Rock show and lose your standards and morals for a few hours and forget.
George Thorogood is 68 now.
Yeah, Clint said he did awesome.
Yeah.
I never would have. Actually, it was a turnoff for me. I'm like, man, really? George Thorogood's the best Kid Rock can bring to town with his opener, but Clint said he was good. He's like, he wasn't washed up. He was still giving a hell performance. So, and actually, there's more songs of his.
I would say he's got a lot of good songs. So.
One bourbon, one scotch, one beer. I didn't realize that was George Thorogood.
I Drink Alone, Bad to the Bone.
I knew Bad to the Bone.
Moving on over.
See, there's all kinds of George Thorogood songs.
George Thorogood was a bad dude.
Now, I'd win if I knew that. I wish I'd have Googled that, and I didn't know that he sung all that stuff.
Yeah, the one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer. That's probably
one bourbon, one scotch.
That's probably my favorite song by him. Everybody likes Bad as a Bone, but after a while, that gets old.
It does get old.
The thing about one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer is it's got all that talking in it. And I never, the song doesn't start till like 6 minutes into the song.
That's why it's 11 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's I've been to 2 of the 4. Lee Buttram hooked me up that one year. He thought he didn't have good seats, and he sold them to me like dirt cheap, and ended up being second row by the stage. So pretty sweet to set up there.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kid Rock hasn't changed it up. Like me and Clint were talking about last year. We went to 2 Kid Rock shows. We went to the Fish Fry. Then I won tickets at Bridgestone 2 months apart, and they were the exact same concert. So, and Clint said basically the same show again. So I don't feel sorry that I didn't go there, but you boys are going to be shocked that I didn't go to this.
Shaq meet and greet.
It was a Shaq event.
Was it? No kidding?
No kidding. Turn my mic up just a little.
I don't know where to set us at. I don't know why
I just can't hear myself. It's messing with me a little
I don't know why we're messed up right now.
So Shaq, I known for a couple months, he was playing the Breakaway Music Festival in Centennial Park in Nashville.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, and he does that. That's one of his 1,000 jobs in retirement. But I just couldn't find the appeal of paying $70 for a one-day ticket to see Shaq do his thing. And the only other person on the bill I knew was Wiz Khalifa, and I don't even really know anything. I just know his name. You know what I mean? So but then earlier in the week, this guy from Nashville that I know, he texted me. He's like, "Are you going to the Shaq thing?" I said, "No, I'm not going to go." He goes, "No, he's DJing a bar in Nashville for the post party." So he sends me the thing, Club Limelight.
Yeah.
White man probably would have got shot at, but
I've never even heard of it.
It's right across the road from Nissan Stadium. Like if you're coming from the Shoney's and Gersthouse side where we tailgate on the main event parking, pass right by the Limelight. So it's right there on Woodland. I mean, it doesn't look
sketchy.
It doesn't. You wouldn't think that right there on the road would be sketchy, but a lot of people acted like it was because a lot of people are just racist,
Right.
Simple. Like, it's a black bar. But, I think I'd have been fine as long as I'd have wore my, Adidas jumpsuit or something.
Now, when Shaq DJs, is he actually up there scratching records?
Oh, it's him.
Or does he have like somebody pick him out a track playlist and go hit start?
No, he's been scratching since college.
Yeah.
There's an old VHS tape I got of him, and he's scratching in his college dorm room. So he's always tinkered with it, like he tinkers with everything. And I saw some videos of it, of not that one, but of the actual festival. Of course, he kills me on his podcast. He says the first time he ever went to a show, he thought it'd be all brothers. He says a bunch of white people. He said, but I always have the WBCs in the playbook, White Boy Classics. Shot to the heart, and you're to blame. And pour some sugar on me. I mean, he said he's got all the White Boy Classics. Get the white boys and white crowd hyped up.
Right.
So, but it didn't start till 11 o'clock at night, man. It's just a little late to be going to Nashville, come back at 2 a.m.
Oof.
So you didn't go to Nashville at all this week?
No, I actually messed up. I could have actually went with you Wednesday.
Yeah. That's what I heard for where we start talking about it on I guess Wednesday morning, right?
Yeah.
And Jamie Johnson
had a benefit.
Yeah.
For somebody.
And then
Leanne Womack was there, Randy Hauser, several.
Ron White. Of course he's a comedian, but
yeah.
And then there's 2 guys that made an appearance, sang a song.
Yeah, but would you even known if I didn't tell you?
Who made?
Yeah, I would have. I would. I just when you text me that, I just rolled out.
I barely didn't want to break the news to you because he was like, "Man, my friend, his in-laws owns Third and Lindsley, where we can get in for free." And I said, "Man, I'm probably going the next 2 nights to Nashville. I don't need to go." And I was being honest
at that point.
Yeah. Then shoot. Then I text him. I see Jamie Johnson's Instagram story the next day, and Cody Jinks and Ward Davis pops up as surprise guest.
That sucks.
So, it does suck. Worst case scenario, we've been backstage with them.
People, I'm sorry about all this popping that's happened too. I'm not sure what the hell's going on here.
I mean, we could have met. You've already got to meet Jinx, and I could have met Jinx. I wasn't going by myself.
If it would have been for that, having to have his girlfriend backstage, you could have met him at the concert.
I mean, when you called me at a sin, I couldn't hear nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I try to help a brother out.
I appreciate that. That was pretty fun. Either way, whether I got to meet him or not, I had a good time.
I've met Jinx and Ward and Jamie and Randy Hauser. I hadn't met Leanne Womack though. That'd been nice.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm just trying to make you feel better. But yeah,
then John Daly. Y'all may not know who
he
John
was
golfer.
There?
John Daly was there, the golfer.
You
smoked cigarettes, drank beer, winning major championships
John
in the
Daly's
90s.
The greatest, man. His wardrobe was the best. Look at that.
Yeah.
You know, make him wear that.
He still smokes cigarettes, drank beer, walking down a golf course.
Well, look at him right there. He looks. Well, he's slimmed
that's
up
Donald
now.
Trump. That's Donald Trump smoking a cigarette, wearing UT color.
Cincinnati Bengals.
He may be drinking whiskey and Coke there.
Gosh, he looks rough. He looks like a guy that walks around on a golf course all day drinking whiskey and Coke.
But that's
wearing them Alabama colors.
Was he on the bill for that?
He just showed up.
Okay.
There he is.
There it is. There's John Daly. I remember.
When I text my buddies, like, Cody Jinks and stuff was there last night. I'm like, I'm really disappointed because if I really pressed it, we could have went. But
tell me you don't look like an old woman.
That looks like a 60-year-old lesbian, man.
Yeah, even the way he's holding his club.
Not even a lesbian. I guess that could be anybody's grandma. Right there.
Anybody's grandma from Florida. Look how dark he is with this bleached blonde hair.
Yeah.
That's a Florida grandma right there.
He was Happy Gilmore before Happy Gilmore. So
that's funny, man.
He is. He comes straight out of the Florida Keys. He's done. The only reason that he's even got this golf club is she's just beat a snake to death that crawled up out of the swamp down in Florida.
And it is straight up. You can hit it right on the head, Lucas.
Hi.
God dang.
Yeah. That looks like that Bigfoot. You remember that video they had a Bigfoot where he stopped and turned around and had a look? That was John Daly, ape suit.
Oh man, look at him. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this next thing, but I just like to say rest in peace to a little part of my childhood. Father Time wins again.
What happened?
I never thought growing up watching my favorite professional wrestler of all time that I would have to deal with the fact that the sexy boy, heartbreak kid, Shawn Michaels, is now cross-eyed and bald-headed.
Oh no!
He's finally come home. HBK. You can find him in AWN. You can find it as early as 1996, 97 when his hair would go the wrong way. You'd see the hairline coming up, and he's struggling. If he didn't part his hair the right way, he would just go ahead and type in bald after that. And the images are now all over the place. So finally, it was a big deal this Hall of Fame weekend. Oh. Well, that was years ago. That's what I'm talking about. You can see it, just the hairline.
It wasn't even his hairline, boy. It was that whole back there.
That back, yeah. You can't do anything with that. It goes to the back.
That cowboy hat and long hair comb back can only do so much, can't you?
So, in April this year for the Hall of Fame weekend, he shows up to the Hall of Fame with that haircut right there. So, just
cut off the ponytail.
Like I'm no longer posing on the cover of Playgirl. I've got a shortcut. I've got to look at me. I'm wearing a suit to the office kind of deal. Comb over, short hair.
You're right.
He shows up on Monday Night Raw this week and he gets his cowboy hat knocked off completely. Onion peel. Right there you can see it. Right there the third picture where Kane's got him around the throat. Got the little bandana around his head just to hide it a little bit, but man, the heart.
I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. Just go ahead and cut that off.
Yeah, Triple H done it. Probably 5-6 years ago. But man, I tell you, when the
Triple H still had a head full of hair.
Yeah,
when he did,
he realized it was the 2000s and he still had a ponytail.
Right. More of a corporate role for him now. So
hey, those old pictures of HBK bald. There's really not that many of them.
It's just a new thing, man. Like I said,
I don't have a choice. It just kind
of. You didn't have to shave.
I wish I was old as Shawn Michaels was before I started losing my hair, but unfortunately, I was 14 years old.
One of my favorite.
14 years old, really.
I started losing my hair at 14 years. When I was a freshman in high school, my hairline started going back.
You got that armpit going up right now.
Yeah.
A little bit.
One of my favorite.
That's bad, man.
My favorite Daniel Collins quotes. I won't say who he's talking to, but this guy asked him, said, "How's my hair look?" Daniel said, "Gone."
Why do you got to do Cliff Smith like that?
It wasn't Cliff.
Oh, really?
Wow. No, it's somebody we used to work with.
Okay.
He said, "How's my hair look?" "Gone."
The reason I got that armpit thing, there's a guy I work with, and they're best friends, these two guys, and he goes, "Man, Merle, you got to shave that armpit, brother." He said, "No women like that armpit." There's like these stringy hairs on his forehead. All this still here, but
my stepson, I had my hat off the other day, and I walked. He's got really big into WWE, like within the last 4 or 5 months.
That's your fault.
I don't think it is. Well, I mean, he borrowed an old PlayStation game of mine that I played, 4 or 5 years ago, and he played it, and I think that's what. So I guess it is my fault. But he said, "You got something on your head." I said, "What?" He said, "Right there." I'm like, he's like, "You just got just a little patch of hair right there," and I'm like, I said, "Man, that's my hair. There's nothing on my head. It's just the way it is." It's like, you'll understand that.
Yeah, one of these days.
Kids don't give a damn.
They're honest. I mean, he's super honest. He will tell you stuff you don't want to know.
Yeah, I remember when we were in high school and we went to read to the kindergartners or something. I just remember how much fun it was whenever the seniors come and read to us whenever we were in kindergarten. I remember how much I enjoyed that, and I had that in my head. This is going to be something that these kids are going to remember. And this is just going to be a good time. I got down there, and this kid goes, "What's this all over your face? You got red spots everywhere." And I thought, like I wasn't conscious enough, insecure enough about this already, and this little kid just ruined this whole special moment that I thought we were going to have.
He does make me feel good. He said, "What do you weigh? About 200 pounds?" I'm like,
yeah,
I sure do.
I do. That's it, 200.
Waylon told me this week, we were talking about a mom. He said something about a mom, his buddy's mom. He goes, "Y'all are about the same age." And I said, "Yeah, I thought we were." He said, "She ages better than you." And I said, "Really?"
Yeah. He's your kid.
Yeah. I said, "Well,
it's your kid.
It's the beard, man."
Yeah.
Hey, well, we're getting a little long, so we better knock on this a little bit, knock off 15, 20 minutes here to finish the show probably. But so I did a poll on Twitter. Facebook always gets a little better response. So I probably apologize. I'll miss somebody's comments because I actually spent time putting all this together so we wouldn't have to be fighting back and forth. Sherilyn asked if we were going to read it all live online. No, it's cluster when you try to follow the comments. So I got down this morning, and so I'll give you guys guesses too. So of all these questions that I ask, of all 4 country legends, right here, there's 3 of these guys I've seen live in concert. 1 I have not. Merle Haggard, George Strait, George Jones, and Willie Nelson.
Merle Haggard.
Okay, that's your guess.
Yeah, I said Merle Haggard.
Okay.
But part of him is you want to say George Jones, but I know how much you like him. But
so my 3 favorite classic countries is Hank Jr., Waylon Jennings, and George Jones. Never got to see Waylon. He died right 2002 when I first started going to concerts when I graduated. Hank I've seen numerous times. George Jones I did see, not actually a George Jones concert. Well, I did go see one George Jones concert in 2005, I think. And I saw a couple tributes to him that he was at. So between the Twitter poll and the Facebook polls, Willie Nelson got 1%, George Jones 12%, George Strait 41%, and Merle Haggard with 46%. So the crowd was going where you guys are going. Willie Nelson is my least favorite of those 4, and I did see him with Jamie Johnson once. The answer, however, I've met George Strait, but I've never seen him in concert.
Really?
Met him outside the Ryman, but I've never seen him live. I got to see Merle Haggard in North Carolina about less than a year before he died.
Huh.
He did like a abbreviated show. He didn't do a full set. I mean, 10, 15 songs. It didn't feel like you got your money's worth, really.
As many concerts as you've been to, and you haven't seen George Strait.
I know.
As many concerts as he did, too.
If I feel like that last tour he done, Cowboy Rides Away or whatever, I feel like the tickets were just insane.
They were. I think at Bridgestone, when he come to Bridgestone, it was like $300 for nosebleed. It was ridiculous.
And to me, George Strait, I'm all about live. I'm ready to see a show. And George Strait, to me, just don't look like he would put on a good show.
Well, we seen it. And was it Country Pride? What was that movie he did?
No.
Pure Country?
Pure Country, yeah. We seen his concert in Pure Country.
So I said whether it was my wife whether I lost a bet or I had a gun held to my head, I've seen 3 of the following 4 acts: Jason Aldean, Kenny Chesney, Sam Hunt, and Luke Bryan. And would y'all like to guess which one I have not
say
seen?
them again.
Sam Hunt,
Luke Bryan, Kenny Chesney, or Jason Aldean?
I don't believe you've seen Sam Hunt yet.
Okay.
No, I would have heard. Somebody would have heard about that.
That was actually the most obvious choice. That one actually got 90% of the vote. Luke Bryan getting 9% and Kenny Chesney 1%.
Notice I did say yet because I do believe you will see Sam Hunt.
I don't because Lindsay doesn't like him.
I do believe you'll wind up seeing him in concert.
No. Now, Florida-Georgia line was close, and if Colin Glass would have held me up to my word, Colin said something about him going to he's from a guy our age from Tompkinsville. He said he would go. He went to a Florida-Georgia line concert, and I told him, I said, buddy, well, I tell you what, next time when they come to town, you buy my ticket, and I'll go because it'd be funny for the podcast.
Right.
And I don't know if he's been to one since, but so I'm a man of my word. I will go.
Back streets back. All right.
Now I'm sure they'll be there. Kenny Chesney, I've seen a couple times. Kenny's not bad.
Yeah.
Kenny's not bad.
Kenny grew on me.
Jason Aldean, actually never seen a full show of his, but he was at a benefit concert I went to.
I'm not as mad at this last album. I don't know why this is popping. I'm not as mad at this last batch of music he's let out than I was his previous stuff. I'm telling you that something about Mike DeMeza. It just seemed this last album just reminds me of Mike DeMeza.
I have to listen. See similarities. A lot of these guys, we've talked about on this before. They start off well, with good intentions, and they put out a couple good records that aren't as mainstream, and they're pretty good albums. Then they get mainstream for a while. They go a little pop.
Yeah.
Then after they've made their money and they've made their fortunes,
then they start back.
Then they'll come back around.
Yeah.
Here's the most wide open one. I've seen 3 of the following rappers. One I have not. Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Jay-Z, and Dr. Dre.
I'm going to say Jay-Z because I don't think Jay-Z did that concert down in Morrison, down in McMinnville. What's that big concert down there?
Oh, Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo. I don't think Jay-Z did Bonnaroo.
What's your answer, Curtis?
I'm going to go with Dr. Dre.
I think Dr. Dre did Bonnaroo.
Jay-Z did do Bonnaroo.
Did he really?
The year that I went.
Okay.
That's where I saw him.
All right.
He followed Stevie Wonder, who was a hell of a performer.
Uh-huh.
And Curtis, you're right, Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is my favorite rap figure, just because of everything he's brought to the game.
Right.
As far as producing aspect, the Chronic album, helping Eminem and 50 Cent and so many people in their careers, and just becoming a billionaire basically from the Apple sale.
Uh-huh.
So just the
now, did you see Snoop at Bonnaroo as well?
I saw Snoop with 50 Cent. Listen to this shit. 2003, second year in college, living with Josh. Me and AJ. I can't remember if Brad was there or not.
Had a good concert, man.
I got a good concert. Pretty good. I got more teeth. I don't know, Brad. Brad's in jail, probably.
Let's go see his concert.
I'm still silent about it. It's me and AJ, and I really don't remember if Brad was with us or not, but it was Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, Chingy, and Bone Crusher.
Yeah.
At Startwood.
Huge in 2002, 2003.
Yeah, they were all on one song, weren't they?
Yeah, that's all they sang. That whole group sung one song.
I'm never scared. I don't remember. I remember Snoop Dogg, but Eminem went with Fraley to Atlanta to see him and Exhibit, Papa Roach, and Ludacris.
That's an odd. What is Papa Roach? How does that even get in the middle of that?
Don't know. It was the Anger Management Tour, 2002. Being scared to death, 18 years old in Atlanta, very, very out of place.
Yeah.
While Clint Fraley was leaving the concert, hitting hoods of cars, going, "Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way!" And then cussing out a guy. There was a brother man on the street saying, "Look here, brother. You see my tattoo? Be more. I'm from Baltimore, roughest streets in America. These blah, blah, blah down here in Atlanta ain't got nothing on Baltimore." He said, you give me you give me $10 and you tell them be more, said not to F with you, and you be all right. Clint goes, or how about you just go the hell on? I ain't got no damn money for you. And I start to grab some money off. I goes, no, by God, you ain't got no money either. And B Moore said, brother, come on, $5. He goes, I don't know what part you're not understanding. We ain't got no damn money for you. I'm just trying to get a cheeseburger. Yeah, so are we.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, Clint, you're gonna get shot by B Moore. But yeah, man, Jay-Z and Bonnaroo.
Huh. I wouldn't have thought Jay-Z would have come to Bonnaroo.
God, hell, I still watch it on. But everybody does. Lil Wayne's been to Bonnaroo. Eminem's been to Bonnaroo.
About a month ago, Jay-Z and Beyonce was at Vanderbilt. At Vanderbilt Stadium.
I wouldn't want to go see Jay-Z now, but back then, well, it was 2002 or 2010. I wouldn't have went. I saw the highlights of that in Curtis. I wouldn't have went now. Back then, I like Jay-Z a lot. Not so much now.
I don't think I would have spent money. And it's just because I don't like that music. I like Eminem. But I like the old school gangster rap. I think you talked about that on the podcast maybe a couple weeks. Maybe it was an old one. But like NWA.
Yeah.
That movie, Straight Outta Compton, was wonderful. And then,
speaking of rappers, while we're talking about them right now, Mac Miller passed away, OD'd out in California. Did y'all ever listen to Mac Miller any?
I didn't know who he was. Never heard the name.
I loved listening to Mac Miller. He had this show on MTV called The Mac Life. Before I turned off the regular television, I would catch it every now and again. And he was just a real nice kid. And he had this song called Donald Trump. If you hadn't listened to Mac Miller's Donald Trump, go check that out. It's a pretty good one. Just a real nice kid. Was watching some of his videos, led me to mumble rap. What Jay-Z and the group prior to him, Tupac, all of those guys did versus what they do now is, I don't know what that is. It's not the same thing. It's just not. I know everything progresses, and I know we talk about old country, but I feel like if you sit and look at some of the new rappers out there, like Lil Xan and all these Lils.
Why can't they ever be big?
I don't know, man. They're all Lil something. Lil Xan's this white kid, or he may have some Spanish heritage in him. I think his real name's Diego, but I can't understand a damn word he says. He's got fake vampire teeth in, so the whole time he's talking, he's got a lisp because he's trying to hold that thing in, and then he just the whole time he's talking, and then I went on this whole list of other ones that you couldn't understand a damn word any of them said. I just don't get it. And when you go and listen to somebody, like, and this is me being old again, when you go back and listen to something like Eminem, you sit there and you listen to the words that he said, and you listen to the words that like Cube said, and Snoop, they were putting stuff lyrically together that was fun to listen to. These guys, you can't, if they don't have somebody good making the beat that they're rapping on, you can't understand a damn thing about the song. At least if they get a good music producer, you at least got a good beat to go with. Mm-hmm. But you can't understand a damn word they're saying.
It goes back to the Machine Gun Kelly. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you one Machine Gun Kelly song, but
I know that diss track. I've heard it.
I guess, but I don't know nothing about. I mean, he put himself in relevance by getting in with Eminem. And at what point, is Eminem is he going to lose this? Is he ever going to lose one? And second, if you're a rapper, are you ever going to try that?
No, I don't know why you would.
It brings your name to prominence.
Yeah, because you got shit on by Eminem real hard.
Yeah, but I don't. Maybe just I need to fly under the radar, be little, and do some mumble rap. But
yeah,
a lot of these young guys are into this Machine Gun Kelly cat.
Yeah,
they probably don't wear cargo shorts. I don't know.
He was on. The only reason I even knew his name was he was on a song that had some commercial popularity with a girl named Camila Cabello or something. So that song had some popularity on the radio, had some radio play. At the end of Eminem's diss track, he said something about P. Diddy, where it's more likely that he'll do something than P. Diddy admit he was the one that put out the hit on Tupac.
Yeah.
And that put me into listening to a bunch of old interviews with the Las Vegas detectives and the L.A. County, California detectives that was there at the scene and that did the did all that stuff. Shit, Diddy might have had him killed. I mean, it looks like from what the prosecutors and the detectives can say, can find, it looks like Diddy might have had something to do with it.
With the Tupac?
With Tupac's killing, yeah.
That was always kind of loosely related.
Yeah, they say they're fairly confident that it was not Suge Knight that done it, seeing as how he got struck in the back of the head, too.
It'd be awful ballsy on Suge Knight's part to be riding in the car with somebody that, put a hit on somebody. You have to have a lot of trust in the gunman.
Yeah. The police officer on scene said that Suge was running around trying to get to Tupac, and hollering at Pac. Tupac was hollering back, Suge, and then Tupac finally just slowly started fading away. The whole time, Suge is bleeding all over himself because a bullet come through and grazed the back of his head, cut him open pretty bad. And the last thing that Tupac ever said to anybody was that police officer that was sitting there saying, "Who shot you? Who shot you? Who shot you?" He turned around and looked at him and said, "F you." And then that was the last thing anybody ever heard Tupac say.
He died. Of course, he made it 4 days.
Yeah, they said that guy sent other officers to the hospital with Tupac to try and catch his last words if he was going to have any last words. And that officer said that he had went in after that, and he said the only reason that Tupac lasted 4 days was the fact that the Las Vegas trauma center that he went to was very, very good at their job, said, because he was fairly confident he was brain dead already by the time he got there. So he lasted 4 more days, but it doesn't look like he was alive.
Really amazing what he did, and he died at 24.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
24, and he was already rapping for,
making millions.
At
24 years old?
6-7 years.
Yeah. Suge Knight's in jail now.
Yeah, well, he run over that guy.
He killed that guy.
that's pretty rough. I've run over somebody. I didn't back up over him maliciously. Yeah, man. Tupac to me is Eminem's the best of all time, but man, Tupac was so good.
One of these new mumble rappers had said that Tupac was boring when he rapped. Well, again, trying to make himself relevant.
Yeah, that probably didn't go over well.
No. Well, it went over like a sack of shit.
It's not.
It's just not true.
Accurate, anybody knows.
Yeah.
Eminem and Tupac are the best. Dre's the best producer, and
I don't know any other producers other than Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not all about that genre so much.
Right.
Well, if you're younger than us, it kind of comes with the territory. Nobody cares as much about that generation. Yeah. We were teenagers when it happened. So we're still catching the
tail end of it.
Anyway, so one question that to me there's no wrong answer. When I said who's your favorite of the 4, Cody Jinks, Chris Stapleton, Jamie Johnson, and Tyler Childers. There's no wrong answer here.
Who'd you say?
Tyler Childers, Cody Jinks, Jamie Johnson, and Chris Stapleton.
I'm gonna say you're saying Jinks right now.
Well,
you just asked that to everybody.
I asked, yeah.
Oh, right now mine's Childers.
Childers, yeah. All right. Austin, what is that? Childers. Don't let Tyler Childers hear this. And I know you're going to say one of the two.
One of the two?
You said Stapleton or Jinx. Okay, Jinx. Yeah. If I had to put them in order, and this is hard, but I'd put Jinx, Johnson, Stapleton, and Childers. And Childers I love.
Right.
That just kind of puts you where you're at in that category.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have Stapleton at the bottom, I think. Of those 4, I'd have Stapleton at the bottom.
Jamie Johnson, Chris Stapleton has the 2 best pure country voices, that you can hear now.
Yeah, Johnson to me is just he needs to
get excited,
cheer up just a touch.
Yeah, but he's such a storyteller.
He is. He's really good. He just needs to cheer up just a touch. I'm not saying I need him to jump around on stage like Garth Brooks or anything. I'm just saying I want him to make sure he's alive. Somebody not having to sit there and poke him with a cattle prod.
I was on a Jamie Johnson fan page on Facebook years ago, and for somebody that I've been on Tyler Childers's and Cody Jinks, you can get a tad bit excessive with your love on these fan pages. These fan pages sometimes get a tad bit a little creepy with their love, and I said basically the same thing you said, Lucas. Jamie and they actually gave me the same analogy you did. They're like, what the hell do you want him to do? Come down on a live wire like on a big bungee cord like Garth Brooks and run around the stage? Yeah, I mean, But as I get older, I come to appreciate just going to a concert and sitting there and listening to the storytelling of a guy like Jamie Johnson.
Yeah.
I've been to 3 concerts. 2 of them was Cody Jinks. And the other one was Freeman Henley and Cavo, who's not. No, neither one of those are really relevant anymore. Back years ago in Cookville, so.
To me, Jamie Johnson is just. I mean, Chris Stapleton is Jamie Johnson.
Yeah. Right.
Before he was cool.
Yeah.
Jamie Johnson was Chris Stapleton, the songwriter, the whole deal. Jamie Johnson's that guy for me. So,
I've never heard of Freeman Henley.
They're it says Nashville there, but I think most of them are originally from White House.
Oh, really?
They did a cover song of Lil Wayne, Lollipop, which was really good.
So 3 people got the exact answers on that. They guessed my answers for the 3, and then of course no wrong answer on that. But Sherilyn Prophet,
yeah,
longtime listener,
yeah.
My buddy Adam Jones for Gainesboro, he got it right, and Clint Fraley, of course, Clint Fraley's gonna get it right.
Yeah.
So those 3, you didn't win shit, but you get mentioned on the podcast. Now, kind of just go through some of these other people's answers. I did ask what everybody's favorite live performance was. I'm just going to run through these real quick. Melinda Wiley said Garth Brooks in 97, seen several since, but nobody could touch Garth. Sherilyn Prophet says the Avett Brothers. DK, I don't expect you to know who that is. You're absolutely right. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. They walked in this room right now. Jason Lynn said a tie between Stapleton and Eric Church. Jessica McDuffie said one time I got free tickets to Kid Rock, and that was absolutely the best show I've ever seen, hands down.
Probably also the only concert she's ever seen, hands down.
Maybe. Her Aunt Janet said the Eagles.
Ooh,
Andy Smith said Tom Petty, which I can imagine would be pretty good. Probably the most split answer here. My friend Brittany Daly said to tie between Usher and Jamie Johnson.
Huh.
It's all over the place right there.
Yeah, that's kind of everywhere.
It's like me saying I seen George Jones and Snoop Dogg in the same week. Randy Cherry says I can't help much for this, but I've been to one. It was Garth Brooks. So Sean Anderson, Kid Rock. Thad said Hank, Eric Church, and Jamie Johnson, even though Jamie Johnson was too drunk to perform. That is right. I was at that concert. Jamie Johnson that's the only time I've ever left Jamie completely disappointed. I don't know if he just ate all the Xanaxes that night or what, but it was bad. We were all finally said to hell with it, went up and drank in the concourse till he got done. Eric Church brought everybody here. Jamie Johnson, then Hank had to still, come back and save it. Jeremy Tolson, Garth Brooks, Eric Church, and the Eagles. Friend of the show, long-time commenter here, Doug Martin. Eric Church 9 years ago on a random Wednesday at War Memorial. Rocked that shit.
Now, is that plus or minus? It's over under. I don't know.
Over under 9 years?
Yeah.
I'm taking the under.
Yeah.
On 9 years. At LeGod James Season on Twitter, it says Eagles, Aldine, Eric Church, and Post Malone. I like Post Malone's music when I hear it on the radio.
I've never heard it.
I get disgusted by looking at his face.
I mean, if you're gonna look like that, I can't take you seriously.
That's right. God dang, anyway. Adam Jones says Eric Church and Brantley Gilbert. I was at that concert, I think. Taylor Hendricks said Eric Church, hands down, best concert. Blake Allen, Eric Church in 2009 before he got big. I was at one of those Eric Church concerts in 2009. Maybe the same one here in Knoxville. Hell of a show. At TLou427 on Twitter says, not a flashy answer, but Shooter's stage presence is one of the few acts that I've ever seen live that was way better than his album. I'm not mad at that answer.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to
Cody Jinks? I would put live better than album.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree with you. Brian Haiti said Kid Rock because the crowd goes ballistic, man. That is absolutely true. Damn it, Slim Allen. I just deleted the post that I've got my note said read Slim Allen's post, but basically he said he was at I deleted it because I didn't want all these comments to keep coming up as we were recording, but he put on Facebook there that he went to a Thomas Rhett thing. He said, don't judge, which I was about to judge because it was Thomas Rhett. He said before he was, what did he call it? Bruno Mars country version. But anyway, he said he listened to a guy on a guitar or on a stool, just, homely looking guy, he said.
Uh-huh.
He said, you probably don't know me. I write songs. You probably know some of the songs I write, but hopefully you'll know me one day. And he come out and bullshit with the crowd. And it's Chris Stapleton.
Ah.
So he said it made it worth being at a. Who the hell's that?
That's a little Zan. That's the one I was talking about. We were talking about dumb faces.
How old is he? 15?
Maybe.
Well, he's a dumbass. He's got a Jaguars bogging on. So.
He's got all these tats on his face.
So that's always fun interaction. So you'd say Cody Jinks. You obviously would say Cody Jinks.
Obviously. He was played at my wedding, so I pretty much have to.
Yeah, for me, I love Cody Jinks. I love Cody Jinks. It's my favorite. He is my favorite right now.
This is what rappers do today.
Jesus Christ. Who is that?
I'd rather their pants hang
Lil Uzi.
around their knees.
Lil Uzi.
I see little lesbian right there is when I look at it. I see little tank top.
He's carrying a purse.
Little spikes. Little talent.
Very little. They may be talented. I don't know. This guy's hilarious.
Lil Dicky.
He's hilarious.
You showed me a video of him.
Yeah. He's funny. He's hilarious.
I guess my favorite all time. I've always said Kid Rock is. Kid Rock does go nuts because he do all the whole show, country, rap, rock. You're gonna have fireworks. You're gonna have strippers on a pole. You have the American flag bringing down on Born Free. I mean,
Walmart shopping carts pushing around in the crowd.
Yeah, the tramp stamps.
Uh-huh.
Tank tops, mullets. I mean, bad mustaches. You're gonna get the whole deal.
Yeah.
But all in all, general presentation, hell of a show. Same. Eric Church. I have to agree with everybody. This many people.
Eric Church was pretty good. Yeah. I liked him too. Yeah.
Which one did you go see him at?
I seen him in Nashville at some point in time. I think you were there too.
So, have you ever seen a concert at Nissan Stadium? Of course, Eric Church is going to be there. I think it's in May, March
next year. I have. I just seen. I didn't get to see Guns N' Roses there. Only one I got.
Is
to see.
Nissan? Which one is Nissan?
That's
Titan Stadium. Oh.
The only one I've got to see was I think Kenny Chesney there.
Was it good? I mean, is it?
I don't know. Keith Urban was there. I didn't know that till like Wednesday the next week. What happened was me and Brad Craig had got there, and the concert started at 4. Oof. There was 5 or 6 acts. We're like, man, let's don't drink beer yet because this concert's so long. We don't want to A, spend that much money, and B, remember Kenny Chesney.
Yeah, right.
About 5 minutes into it, like, man, cowboy, better get a beer. It was Big and Rich, Gretchen Wilson, Dierks Bentley, Little Big Town, and Kenny. Somebody else, I think. There's 5 of them for sure. 2006, Lindsay's about 7 months pregnant, so Brad got her ticket. And man, we showed out. And they were like, oh, what about Keith Urban? I'm like, Keith Urban wasn't there. Keith Urban was there. They're in Kenny's set, so I got to see Kenny several years later.
I'm trying to decide because Jenny likes, my wife likes Eric Church, and I like Eric Church.
Do it.
And I'm trying to decide. And
yeah. You won't be disappointed, that's for sure.
I didn't figure about it.
He's fantastic.
I didn't know if like the venue would change anything because I'd rather see him at Bridgestone.
He'll be fantastic wherever you see him.
Do it.
Yeah.
Hank Jr. though, I've said this 100 times, just the storytelling, the whole deal. I know what he's gonna say before he even says it at this point. Oh, he put a new song out this week overnight. He's put it out randomly. Take a knee, take a hike. About the NFL protest.
Huh.
Well, that'll get him up.
Hey, if you get a chance to watch Willie Nelson at Starwood Amphitheater and Red Bowling, you should probably do that too. That's pretty good. Willie at Starwood.
My dad's singing
Deerwood,
yeah.
Charlie Daniels there. They rode up on horses. They got to talk to him.
That's hilarious.
But that's years ago, though.
Yeah. Well, I was young enough at that point that I got in for free, so I had to have been less than 5. So it's been a while ago.
Lone Star belt buckles and old faded Levi's, and each night begins a new day.
He said, "Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be assholes." In the song. That's the one part I remember because I was like 4.
You remember when somebody cusses like that?
Yeah, when you're 4. Well, we better cut this so you can go watch football.
Yeah, I guess so.
Foosball.
How long?
We're an hour 20 in.
Yeah, I promised my buddy Carlos he could be on today, but we'll save it for Wednesday night.
Yeah, we'll be back Wednesday night. Had the flu in the house this week, which is why we're recording on Sunday.
That'll still be out tonight, probably won't anyway.
What, the flu?
I hope not.
No, this show. Be out tonight.
Yeah. This will still go out tonight. I'm not going to cut anything out of it. I'm just going to send her on out here in just a second.
Might as well. Curtis, anything you want to say about
You want to plug your social media?
No, not really. But I know it took me a little while to start listening. But I mean, what y'all are doing, it's innovative for Clay County.
Hey, keep patting us. We're not done yet. Keep talking.
I had this worked out, just in case.
Yeah,
y'all decided to ask what I thought, but like I said, it took me a little while, and then every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays on my way there, on my way back, I'm listening.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty cool what y'all are doing, and
it's what I've been saying.
It's you get a lot of people here. Hell, they're just talking. You know, they are just.
That's
talking.
exactly right.
They are just talking.
Can't argue that fact.
Yeah.
You get in a room with DK and Lucas both. It's a pretty damn good conversation.
Well, sometimes it can be, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes it's a shit show, but sometimes it's fun.
I like what Curtis said. He says, I've listened to this and this, blah, 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 and some are better than others. No kidding.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty brutal.
Hey, and don't think we don't know it, folks. Sometimes we leave going, that was awful.
That was the drizzling shits, my friend.
Yeah.
Sometimes we know it.
Yeah.
I listened to the interviews of y'all both, and actually, I told DK this, and I actually liked yours a little better because, you don't.
Tell you to blow it at his ass, too.
Yeah.
No.
He don't, you don't hear as much from Lucas as you do DK, obviously, but that's not a knock against you or anything. But
yeah, he knows he talks a lot.
Yeah. I would hope so.
That's one of the reasons why I knew I had to get DK whenever I had this thought in my mind, of doing this, and he had the thought of doing one too. He and somebody had actually talked about it prior to me going to him, but
Steve Dersham.
I knew going to him or going into thinking about this, I wanted to do it. I wanted to do a podcast. At least because it was technically something that I had never done before, and it was interesting to me to do that technically. But I knew that I would not be able to carry one by myself because one, I don't do that much extracurricular activities, and two, I don't like to talk a lot. If you were just around me throughout the day, if you was with me at work throughout the day, I don't talk much. That's just not me. So I knew I had to get Dustin. I knew that he was did interesting stuff, and that he was going to be the one to carry the show. So, and you just kind of fall into your roles too.
Right. And just give an idea how much, again, it's not a knock against DK or anything like that, how much he talks. Him and my wife went to Cody Jinks in April in Chattanooga. Of course, that's a long trip.
Yeah.
We got back, and she said, "Man, he talks a lot." This is coming from a girl who really likes to talk,
right?
But I was like, "Yeah." I was like, but a lot of the stuff he says is either relevant or funny or
and you got to listen. You got to listen. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, when he talks,
y'all were quiet coming home, and I
was about half drunk coming home. So
well, the thing was, I got out of that vehicle thinking, man, I feel like I just talked a lot in that car. But y'all were quiet, it seemed like y'all were, and I guess I'd had enough shots with you guys there that I felt like we didn't need to be quiet, and I thought, man, somebody just keep this conversation going in this car.
Yeah.
I told her before we just bought her car that day, and that was the first trip we got to go on was Cody Jinks back in April. I don't remember what day it was, and I told her, I was like, now when he gets in, he's going to talk your ear off like he's known you for your whole life. Right. So I was like, just be ready.
You wouldn't lie.
All right. You got anything else you want to pat me on the back for before we go?
I think I covered it.
Yeah.
I mean,
if there's one thing that
your head's big enough,
whenever you come back, next time you're in, just write some stuff down.
Write some stuff down. I'm pretty good on the spot talker.
Yeah.
So
there's actually nothing more that me and Lucas like than being praised. Having our ego stroked. Yeah, we don't get enough of it, really.
I mean, you've dropped my name, the last 5-6 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's
love that shit.
Least we can do is to get, patted. When he brought this to us, though, really, I had talked about it. It was a completely different concept. I was talking about, don't want to do sports with some guys. Like, I want to get a panel of 3 or 4 guys and kind of sit back. But then when Lucas said that, he's like, let's do a podcast. I was like, man, who the hell's going to listen to us? And first thing you got to put out of your mind is who the hell's going to listen to us and who the hell cares.
Yeah.
What I've noticed, and that's why I have so much love for these same people. A lot of these same people are the ones, but a lot of people do listen. But, that's what stuff, that's what sucks about social media. I really don't want to be so active on social media when it comes to this stuff. I feel like it kind of pushes down people's throats, and like every week I've got the update, and here's who's on our show, here's what we talk about, and I know some people are rolling their eyes going, who gives a shit? And I'm sure more than one person probably hit unfollow because they don't care about the podcast.
Or just
but
all you people that don't give a shit, go ahead, keep clicking unfollow.
Yeah,
just keep clicking it,
and that's okay. I mean, I've went to plenty. I've known plenty of people that selling makeup or whatever people do online, and that's their thing.
Yeah,
I don't unfollow them. I just don't watch it. And so I get where people would be like, God, who gives a damn about your podcast? But we keep doing it for the guys like Curtis and the guys like Randy Cherry and all the Allens and the Thads and the Doug Martins and the Shankies and Brian Haney's.
I need the blue
Jason
one.
Lynn's, Brandon Howell's.
I need that blue one.
Holler at Big K there.
There's we do it. Your big ass hats. You need to buy the extender off Amazon. But that is why really. I mean, and that's the hardest thing. Clay County is so behind on the times about things as many rural towns are. We get that everybody around here doesn't get it, and we're just talking. But a lot of people say, "Well, I don't like your sports." Okay, we'll fast forward to the next section.
Yeah,
there'll be certain things I know.
It'll change in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, there's just.
All right, that's enough about the show. That's enough about the show.
Let's quit talking about the podcast.
Let's quit talking about the podcast. Shout out to the guy who keeps telling us to quit talking about the podcast. No names. All right, everybody. That was fun. I'm going to throw this microphone in the trash can here in just a second. Thanks for listening. Anything else, DK?
It's for the boys. Beat the
boys.
Bills. Music City Miracle. It's where it's all coming full circle today. Beat the Bills. 4-0, baby. Tighten up. Curtis Rich.
4-1.
4-1. What'd I say?
4-0.
Well, hell with that
Close
Dolphins
enough.
game. Piss on that Dolphins game. Tighten up. For the boys, I ain't got a damn can to crack because Curtis killed it like we was in college over here.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.